Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 4 p.m. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Dean Stevenson, and you're probably here because you've seen me writing music today. And here we get to see this group. It's normally a quartet, today's a sextet. There's 6 people, I just wrote more, and it was clearly when you write like a piano part in, more on that later, and you go, oh, well, this is actually, but if the piano isn't there, or then suddenly what I've written just doesn't have a backbone, so oh, I have to call more musicians in. So there's 6 today, which is a great joy. First time it proves that we all fit. 4 p.m. is a kind of endurance installation, for which I sit here each day, have been for many days. Today is 79, day 79, sat at the piano, and if all being what they think it will be, tomorrow will mark not only day 80, but also halfway. So I've got quite a way to go. This is one of those installations that's not designed to inspire you, that's not my job. But if it encourages the idea that not everything that you abandon in the cupboard, in that second drawer, the things that you start but don't have the courage to finish, not all of them are crap. Some of them might still be crap as you work on them, but when you get to the end, you can always go back and finish. So I don't have a chance to abandon this at any point, short of a coronary incident. I have to make something happen, which I have today, and it might be a complete pile of stinking, I don't know what it is. It might be reminiscent of what came out of Cloaca at 2 o'clock, but we'll see. I'm sure this fantastic ensemble will make merry of it. So please, Hamish, Sophie, Nara, Hayato, Miranda, and Amanda. Yay. That was tough. Just to start, I said this yesterday as well, that people have been saying to me recently how, who's seen the new Beatles documentary? No? Oh, no one's seen it yet. Okay. Everyone at least had a conversation about it. You're seeing it on the media, and people are talking about this new Beatles documentary on Disney Plus. Apparently it's just the thing, and people are watching the Beatles in their natural studio habitat making music. And there's a scene in the first episode, apparently, spoiler alert here, sorry, where you watch Paul McCartney just starting to kind of noodle about, and he's noodling and improvising, and kind of comes, and then you start to recognise what he's doing, and you actually see him write the song Get Back. It's one of those songs that's so deep in our conscious, you can't even recall the first time you heard it. It's just always been there. It's like, oh my God, he's actually writing the song I grew up with. You can see him writing, it's amazing. You see him write the song, to which I answer, how do you reckon it happens? How do you think creativity actually occurs? You know, when you're making something, it doesn't just get suddenly pop in front of you in a little puff of smoke and some divine entity gives it to you. It takes a bit of graft, just pushing and pushing and pushing to make it happen. So that's what today is about. Of sorts. Starts with the piano for the first little while, and then for A, end of A, and B, and then we start to introduce the ensemble from B. So we're going to start to kind of rehearse this and just push through bit by bit, and you'll listen to us make it up as we go along. We'll talk about things that don't work, and we'll fix them with pencils, and then eventually over the next 30 minutes we'll kind of bolt it together, and then we'll play it all for in one piece. So welcome to the rehearsal process, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it happens. If you have any questions, if you've always wanted to ask a double bass player why, or a pianist something about playing the piano, or a viola player, if you've always wanted to ask a question, we can hear you. So please think about what you might want to ask, and we're happy to have a chat about those things here while we want to push through. Let's have a go. I'll come back to you a little later on. Okay, so it's pretty much pushes through with this tempo the whole way through. There it is. Piano, you are holding it together. I can see you now. You have to break your neck to look at me. Isn't that lovely? And then, so the bass comes in. So when you get to A, sort of, you have a bit of a chordal movement, and then A just sort of settles in for 4 bars, and then upbeat into B is the double bass, where we have melody enters from the violin, first violin, 4 bars in, little harmony bits. What happens? It's kind of, then we get to E, and then it kind of gets a bit louder. We have some harmonization of the melody, so it gets it's quite strident. A little bit of G, some trillation, up to 4 bars of G. And then we come down into H. At H, cello, take the reins there and express all over the top of that. The double bass comes out, so you're with a kind of the low solo instrument there. And then 2 bars before I, there's a moment of viola, and it comes back to the cello again at I. And then J kind of comes down into arco for double bass, and then there's a real ramp up. Yeah, J's, well, it starts to get pretty intense. Let's just have a go from the top and see how far we get through before we stop. And then these people think about the questions that they've got to ask us, because they're burning to ask questions about violins. Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, So far? Okay. That was their first read through. That's the first time they did it. Amazing. They blow my mind every time. I have to make it harder. Any questions so far?
Articulation-wise,
Yep.
you know,
I think
have a bit of a bounce to it, or
yeah, I think at the start when you come in, think more like a kind of a, I don't know. I'm reticent to say that like fluty lump. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So a little bit less legato.
Yeah, at the start, when you
But
come in, I think.
what about F? You know, I mean, like there's a lot of quavers. Or
That's more like it. Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I think it, yeah. What was the difference there? Just more on.
So yeah, more legato.
Okay.
More on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not too legato. Yeah, split the difference.
But yeah.
Yep. Okay. See, we just had a rehearsal moment. I was asked whether we wanted it shorter, or like legato, which means long and connected. What do you think? Short or long? Short? Someone said short? Long? Oh. The room is divided, ladies and gentlemen. We should try them both, of course. What could go wrong? Has anybody thought of any other questions yet they'd like to ask someone in an ensemble? Long then short. Long then short. Okay. Is it easier to play longer as an ensemble or easier to play short as an ensemble?
I don't know. I just tried something in. But
They're both as easy as each other?
Both the same.
Both
Yeah.
the same. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. So bar F.
Perhaps if we all aim for somewhat short, it'll kind of sound longer as we all play together because it's just a bit more of a massive sound. Perhaps that would work.
Dean, at F.
At F, yep.
I've got a C, Miranda's got a B flat, and we're in octaves. Is there?
Oh, we used to do.
Should I have a B flat as well?
Dee dee dee. Yeah, yep, you should. Oops, how'd that happen? Sorry. You right, Amanda?
Fine, thank you.
Good?
Yep.
Okay, great. Get enough light?
What's that?
Get enough light? Can you see?
And then, yeah, G,
Can you see?
so
Okay, good.
flat
Right.
as well.
Oh, enough light.
Light, yes, yes. Okay, let's look at the transition into H then. So 4 bars before H, please, when we go down to the pizzicato.
So we're
4 bars before H. 1, 2, 3, let's see. Just to make sure the notes were right for you, Sophie.
So I didn't know what you wanted in 78.
78.
Where's the
Ba-ba-da.
where do you want those two little notes?
Where just yagada.
As semiquaver?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, they're just little. They
Diddly.
look like little grace notes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The big notes.
Yeah. It's probably too long a phrase. It should be for too short. Let's go again from right on H, please. In that second bar of H, can you bring that second bar out, please, Nara? Just think of it like that second bar in the first note of the third of H. Because Sophie's just kind of gone down holding the C. You can swell that one. Those fingers will come out. That was nice. Anybody thought of anything yet they want to talk about? We're open for questions. Yes, over here there's a question. Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? Where did my what does it sound like to you if I tell you you'll cry? What's your inspiration? What do you feel like? The fields of Ireland. Walk in the meadows. The Irish meadows or just meadows in general? Okay. Does it sound different when you walk through Irish meadows? Probably does, doesn't it? Yeah, something underfoot's different. Anybody got any other things on it? Yes, I'm here. Do I start with a different piece each day? Yes, I do. Yes, it's a blank page every day. So if you look at the little O device blurb on me, it says there's 2 contradicting statements at the start. One is that there's nothing more frightening than a blank page. And the other contradictory statement is that we start more things than we finish. Starting things is easy. We start hundreds of things a day and we rarely finish a thing. So the courage to get something done is what this is about. But the blank page is never really blank. It's just your fear of writing on it. Or if you're a sculptor, your fear of making that first cut or whatever it is. It's just the fear of doing it. So it just jump in. What have you got to lose? Goodness me. Yeah, nothing to lose. So it's a different piece every day. Starting some of them, connect, like they share notes, they share things, so they can be collections, like you might say string quartet number 1, which you expect for movements. Otherwise, it's just how I feel on the day. Just push through, yeah. Yes, sir. Most of the time it's string quartet. So today's a bit of a bonus. Lucky you. You got a big one today. I have at a weekend of brass, some woodwinds, and there'll be, I think, one weekend in February there's a saxophone quartet. Goodness me. But there's some other things, but mostly it's string quartet. The reasoning behind that is because mostly I like the sound, but also someone said the definition of insanity is asking the same question, expecting a different response each time. So if I have the same sound palette each day, that's where the digging deeper and deeper, as far as this installation is concerned, goes, just to have the same four instruments and then try and make it fresh every day for 160 days or thereabouts. So that's it. I forgot to mention, there's a camera here on the stand, so there's a live stream. There's always a live stream. These are all going to my YouTube, Dean Stevenson Music. You can see all of them, all of the 80 days. And there's also a little music stand here with a mailing list. So if you like if you're interested in staying in touch with the project, put your email down there. All of these, the last take we do is available for you. You can join my Patreon, and you can download straight to your inbox. And of course, when this is finished, I will pick some of my favourites. And we'll record them proper, and we'll have some kind of an album, and some of them we'll never hear again. Okay. One more one from H, please. Everybody all right? Yep. Yep. Can I get you, Miranda, L, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before L, when you go back up, you don't do the theme one, you go back, maybe yada, maybe make that last one a quaver.
So just say the note for me.
It is a C, short C.
Yep.
C,
Can I just confirm with Hayato and myself, we've got 3 bars after L, you wanted the B double flat?
Yeah. Well, it's an A flat, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, A flat, but it sounds like it should go to a B flat.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's
Sounds
it.
like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
normal B
No,
flat.
normal B flat. Sorry.
Thanks.
B double flat. What was I thinking?
Dunno.
Goodness me. This is what rehearsal's about, ladies and gentlemen. Telling the composer he was wrong. No, it is what the composer wanted. Don't care that it's wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, we're getting closer to getting to the end of this piece before we run it through. Let's go from L then, please. I think maybe go. Actually, let's go back where you were. Check that.
Yep.
Yeah, which was. Where's that? 1, 2, 3. Oh, from I. From I. No, sorry. H. What are we doing here?
Okay.
H-O-J-K. K. K. Yep. 1, 2, 3. So now you know what the clap. Not yet. We haven't played all the way through yet. That was just a rehearsal. Goodness me, they're keen. Hey, get another drink. There's pizzas there as well, I believe. You can order a pizza around the bar in the corner. That's how it ends. Now what happened there was some things. I forgot to put the slow marks, a little more legato when it gets to O for the melody.
Sure. Yeah, I actually put them in, but I can play it more legato than I did.
I think so, yeah.
Sure.
Just when it gets to O, smoother. Thank you. What else happened? Oh, so what I meant before 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before L, the C, so the C, there's no gap, it's yeah, just
sorry.
So that's right, just hold that
Hold the A
D.
flat.
Yeah.
I'm confused. So you want me to skip out that whole bar with the B flat and C? Oh, I see. Hold the B flat longer.
Yeah, that's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool.
Cool.
Just from Q as well.
From Q?
Gave you a bunch of low E flats.
Oh, did I? I did too. Sorry about that.
I haven't got the stage.
See, the bass player just said there's notes he can't play. Is this what the composer wanted? Yes, thank you. Okay. Okay, so we're about to give this a razz through. Now what we'll do is... We'll just make the microphone up. We'll do it a couple of times. It'll be good once and it'll be better the second time and then maybe even better the third time. We've got time to do that. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to ask or any questions? Up in the gallery, hello? From the free seats? They're free down here too, you just missed out. That's all. No? Yes, sir. Yeah, I do play a few instruments, yes. But on that point, I'm a composer in this instance, but I sit all day at the piano, but I don't actually play the piano. Like if you put this piece in front of me, I cannot play it. I can write it, I can dream it, but I can't play it. It's not a skill that I have. If you read the O device, there's a little blurb on what I have, which means I can't do that. So I can think of it, if given enough time, i.e. the parameters of a day, I can put the piece together and I use the piano to get the voicings, you know, the chords right, but I literally can't do it. I even play double bass like Hamish, but I play reed bass clef like an arse. Terrible. I'm not very good at that. So it takes me a bit longer, but that's just the skill. I remember being kind of crossed off by someone some years ago, someone who will always remain nameless, from a big organisation who you don't have a piano reduction for your orchestral piece. All composers have piano reductions. They all have piano versions of your orchestral piece. To which I walked away feeling very dejected, but found my way nevertheless, because that's just who I am and the way I do it. So you don't, I mean, as much as conservatoires like you to go there and study things, it's good to do that too. You don't necessarily have to have a Masters of Music, because what good does that get you anyway? To be able to play. So I push through in my own way. Yeah. So I play a variety of instruments, which I guess helps me to write for instruments that I don't otherwise play, but I got a pretty good idea how they work, and they tell me what they can and can't do every day, repeatedly. All right, we're going to give this go from a top. Day number 79. Wow. Did anyone go to see the TSO, see Love Actually last night? No one went to see the TSO last night? Okay. Okay, here we go. From the top. Now the coolest thing is about to happen before we do it again, is that I'm going to get my drink and I'm going to go and sit over there and pick a seat and then they'll do it by themselves because they don't need me anymore because it's pretty, drives through, doesn't it? It drives through. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to ask? Yes, this young man over here has a question. Oh, I can't hear you, something. Sorry, I didn't hear that. What's my... Just a bit louder, that's all. What's my favourite song? Oh, wow. That's a big one. Today, it had to be this one because I had to give it all my attention. My favourite song, that's a big one. Depends whether... Sometimes... Here's the thing. Sometimes it's happy songs and sometimes it's sad songs. Here's a bit of a boring science fact. Which is actually quite good. There's a chemical that we have, and I forget the name of the chemical, but it's a chemical that's in us that subdues us, like when we're just having a crap time and it kind of mellows us down. I forget the name of the chemical. But that chemical is only found in tears when you're sad. It's not found in tears when you drop a hammer on your foot. It's not found in tears of laughter. It's only found in tears when you're sad. It's like when you're emitting that chemical to try and subdue yourself when you're sad. So there you go. So that's why we listen to sad songs when we're sad. So if I was having a sad day, I'd probably listen to I'd tell you it was a sad song, or a piece by, I don't know, some deep, dark piece of nonsense. But it's a big question and depends on the day. Today it had to be this one because I had to give it all my attention despite how much it makes me feel inside. That's another story. Anybody else got any other questions up the top there? Yes? This piece is called number 79. Yes. Yes, that's what it's called because I can't give them all names. That would take me half the day and they'd probably be wrong. That'd be something you couldn't argue about. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget... Oh, another question over here. Yes, young man. What's the worst song ever? Last Christmas by Wham. There you go. There's a game on called Whamageddon. Ever heard of it? Everyone's in the game. If you hear it once, you're out of the game. I'm still in the game. I'm still in the game. Okay.
Sure, it was number 78.
Yeah.
Number 78. There's definitely... Thanks for that. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget the live stream. Pop your name there if you want to know more about the project. We've still got some time if you want to see some more vaginas or the bar is still open, even for pizzas, I believe. Thank you very much, and away you go. Meadow song. What was happening in the meadow though? Working? What was the sad bit about? There's a minor bit in the middle. What happened? You find a dead body or something? What? Remembering, okay? Yes. It's definitely about that. It is definitely a remembering tune. Good. Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have one more time to run it through, once more from the start, and then we're going to have some cocktails. So thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. The group again, Amanda Hodder on piano, Miranda, Hayato, Nara, Sophie, and Hamish. One more time.